So today we're factoring when there's just special things going on. So if I take a look at number one, what's different than what we've been doing before? How is it different? There's no middle piece. So on this one, I'm gonna look for what multiplies to negative 64. And because I have no middle piece, I want to find what adds to 0. So, what multiplies to negative 64? Negative 8 and positive 8. So when I add negative 8 to positive 8, what do I get? 0. So is this my right set of numbers? Yeah. So then what I'm going to do is, in parentheses, I'm going to write x minus 8 and then x plus 8. Questions on number one? So notice, on number one, x squared is obviously a perfect square because of the squared exponent. And then 64 turned out to be a perfect square because of the two 8s. The only thing in my answer was I had one positive and one, helps if I point out what I'm saying, one positive and one negative. So if I take a look at number 2, what is the square of 4x squared? What's the square root? What number times itself is 4? 2. So then both of these get 2x. One gets a positive, one gets a negative, because there's no middle term and it cancels out. And what about the square root of 121? So then each piece just gets 11. Just one of them has to be positive and one of them has to be negative. Any other questions? Okay. So on number 3, I'm looking for what multiplies to 16 and adds to 8. What multiplies to 16? 4 and 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. So, is this the one I wanted? Yep. So notice it's 2 of the same number. There's 2 ways I can write this. I can write this like normal with x plus 4 times x plus... What am I doing? It's not a t. I can write it like this. Or I can write it as x plus 4 squared. Because I have 2 of the same piece. Both of these are right. Questions on number 3? Okay, so on number 4, I need to, because there's a number out front and I can't divide everything by 4, I want to multiply 4 times 9. So, what is 4 times 9? 36. And then I need to figure out what adds to negative 12. So what multiplies to positive, what? There we go. What multiplies to positive 36 and adds to negative 12? Negative 6 and negative 6. So if I do negative 6 plus negative 6, I get negative 12, even though it's off the screen. So then remember what I want to do here is I'm going to replace the negative 12 with the 2 negative 6's. So 4x squared. And then instead of negative 12, I'm going to have negative 6x minus 6x plus 9. What is my next step? Do the parentheses. Okay. What does my first group have in common? Two x. Okay. So then I write 2x out front. What's 4x squared divided by 2x? 2x. Negative 6 divided by... No, negative 6x divided by 2x. Okay. What goes into my second group? Huh? Negative 3 for what? Yeah. What about these two? What goes into both negative 6 and 9? You sure about 3? I mean, 3's right. But there's something you're missing. No, 9 doesn't have an x. What's different about 6? It's negative. So I want to pull out the negative so my answer inside the green parentheses will be positive. So negative 6x divided by negative 3 is... Bless you. 2x. Positive 9 divided by negative 3. Okay. Am I done? What do I do next? So I combine the ones that are outside. I have 2x minus 3 in my first set, and 2x minus 3 in my second set. Yes, I can, because it's 2 of the same. Questions here on number 4? Okay, moving on to number 5. How is it different besides the fact that it has fractions? It equals 0. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to factor it like normal. And then I'm going to set my factors equal to 0, kind of like we did last week. So I'm looking for numbers that multiply to 1/9 and add to 2/3. Any ideas? One-third. And what's the second number? One-third. So when I add them to... No, that's multiplying. When I add them together, it should give me 2/3. So 1/3 plus 1/3 equals 2/3. That's what I wanted, right? So then I'm going to write x plus 1/3 times x plus 1/3 equals 0. What? Okay. Okay, so now this looks more like something we were doing, I think it was last week, whenever we did 7.4. So notice the two things inside the parentheses are exactly the same, so I only have to solve this once. So I take it and I set it equal to 0. How do I get x by itself? Yep, subtract 1/3 on both sides. And I get x equals negative 1/3. Questions here?